Hi, I'm Adrian. I'm just starting a journey in life that is unbelievable. I'm a business owner. I've run my own business for over 20 years in the rail industry consultancy. It's done really well. And yet I've hit a time, the economic climate in the UK is rough right now, and the rail industry has hit tough times as well. And I realise that as an independent business owner, I've not really prepared well financially for my future. I'm 58 and just realising I'm not going to be able to retire. I'm just going to have to carry on working and just keep going. And it's made me realise, I'm in London tonight, where I've been working in the HS2 office. I love history, and Tower Bridge there. I can't remember who it is. My mother's uncle, her cousin, something like that. He was the chief engineer of Tower Bridge back in around 1900. Tower Bridge was built in the 1890s, just before that. And what an amazing piece of history. And just round behind me, you've got the Shard, modern London. And I just reflected today as I looked at my future and thought, what on earth am I going to do? How am I going to give myself and my wife a chance at retirement that we dreamed of? My father, he retired at the age of 60, worked the 40-year plan to utter perfection, as it was in those days. And he took a lump sum, they bought a canal boat, and they moved into the country from London, where I was raised as a kid in Harrow, and lived a beautiful retirement. I've just seen my brother retire, or semi-retire. He's an architect, and he's built the most extraordinary home on the Orkney Islands, looking out over the beach, which he owns. And I went to see him for the first time in his new home last Easter, and we went out for a run, and I was a little bit overweight. I was the one who got him into running some years ago, but I put on a bit of weight, and we ran together, and I couldn't keep up with him. He was fitter than I was. He's 2 years older than me, and he went off into the distance, and I thought, I can't keep up with him physically, and I can't keep up with him financially. He's semi-retired. He's enjoying time freedom, money freedom. My nephew, his son, lives in the States, and he goes out there regularly to see their first grandchild, and he has time with friends. And I thought, I cannot retire. I'm going to have to keep working. My wife and I put some money into property a few years back, well, a decade or so ago, more than that. We wanted our chance at freedom, joined a property club just before the crash, remortgaged our home, put a load of money in, lost tens and tens of thousands of pounds, and for that reason we've still got a mortgage to this day. So I can't even think about scaling back my current work until I'm 68, when that mortgage runs out, and that's 10 years. And then the decline in the rail industry, and then suddenly I thought I might not even be able to meet our current requirements. What if we could actually lose our home here? Pretty critical, pretty horrendous. And yet then I was out running last September, in fact, and clicked on a link to a guy called John, who had his own business, carpentry business, during COVID, which collapsed obviously, and he was in crisis. And he saw an online business opportunity, which he went for big time. And in less than a year, he built his freedom. And to this day, he lives in Portugal now, and has time and money freedom through an online business. And I heard his story, and I thought, could it possibly be? Could that possibly be the answer to my challenge? I've not very well worked the 40-year plan and failed miserably. No chance at all of retiring. And so I listened to John, and I said, come on, John, tell me how it works. Tell me what I can do, and realized that there was a this blueprint, this online training that you could do, learn the basics of online marketing. The thing is, my railway business, I had a website built 10, 15 years ago, but it's never done anything. And I used to say to my business partner, to this day, I would say, how on earth do we get our website up the Google rankings? What do we do? And for over a decade, nothing happened. I didn't ask anyone either. And it just sat there. So I had no idea back in September how online business worked or how you could make money on the internet. And yet, after I heard John, I thought, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to try. I'm going to see what I can do. So I signed up on the 15th of November last year. I paid my subscription and I signed up, and I thought, is this going to do anything? And I put myself diligently into the online training. You can do it all from home, all you need is a laptop and an internet link, and I went through the modules, and they promised that you could, if you follow the process, you could launch your business in 60 to 90 days. And I have to say, I was a little bit skeptical. I thought, that's a bit overplayed, isn't it? You know, come on, 60 to 90 days. And yet I threw myself into it, and there was a YouTube training, how to launch your own YouTube videos and Google Ads and all of that kind of thing. It's an 8-week course, a session a week, about 3 hours every week. So, and 8 weeks. And on week 6 of that program is when you launch your business. Now, I'd missed the training, and they have recordings. So I started listening, and I did one session every day, and I caught up to the 6-week point in 4 days, and I launched. So I squeezed 6 weeks into 4 days, and 28 days after I joined this program, I launched my business. So they'd promised 60 to 90 days, and I did it in 28. And then what happened? Well, I made my first sale 8 days later from Nigeria. Can you believe it? You know, the internet world it's worldwide, it's global. And my first sale came from Nigeria, and then a few days later I got one from Ghana. And by the 8th of January, so that's this month, I turned over my first $1,000. Why dollars? Because it's an international business. But I turned over my first $1,000, and I've continued to make sales from Nigeria, Ghana, Tasmania, South Africa, and this morning, as I opened my laptop, and an email came in to say, you've made a sale from Egypt. And oh, this is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. From nothing, I knew no idea how to make money on the internet. My wife even said, I told her I was looking at this thing, and she said, I know people who've done that e-commerce thing and it doesn't work. And I said, Andrea, you have nearly every day, you have Amazon turn up at our front door and deliver you something you've ordered on the internet. Somebody is making money. So it works for some people. We just need to learn how. And so I said to her, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to find out. I'm going to learn. And I've done it. And I'm doing it. And I am in the early stages, but I'm well on the way. I know John, who's done it in less than a year. I met a guy called Dan, who turned his first $4,000 over in 3 months. And a lassie called Melissa in her mid-30s who turned over her first $10,000 after 10 months. Now, does everybody do it that quick? No. Some people do it, they try for a bit and they give up. But it works. I know it works because I've started and I've made over $1,000 and 8, 9, 10 sales all the way around the world. So I'm doing this thing and I'm following on the coattails of people who have been successful, who've proved that this works. And I can tell you, I am so excited. I am winning my freedom, and I invite you to join me because it's possible. You can do it. Come with me on the journey and see if you could win your freedom too and live the life that you've always dreamed, a life of freedom. Because I was faced with carrying on working probably until the day I die. And suddenly I've got something in my hands that I know I can win my freedom and turn that 40-year plan into a year or two and win my freedom. So come on, why not? What have you got to lose? Join me.